All right, how's it going? Welcome back. It is July 21st, 2020. It's a Tuesday, and it is roughly 11:20 in the morning. And had a little bit of a frustrating day today trading. Not that like I lost a lot or that well, I'll put it this way. I gained about 2.5% on a trade, and I got about like -1% on a trade. And we'll talk about MTP is one we're going to talk about. The other one that we're going to talk about is OPK and then BOXL. So let's start with MTP and let you know how that played out. This was one that I found on my own. I belong to a chat room, and often I rely on that kind of training wheels where people in the chat room that run the chat room, they'll tell you about 5 to 7 stocks that they've been watching in the pre-market and recommend that something that not to buy or sell or anything or short, but to watch and maybe engage in a trade. So MTP was something that I found on my own, which I'm always proud of, and it was a big gainer in the pre-market and had a lot of volume. And it had some interesting news right here. Let's see if I can show you right here. At 7 o'clock in the morning, Seeking Alpha, which is the financial blog that released this news, that Miditech Pharma is up big on a Q-Sphera collaboration, which is a company in Israel. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is, I believe, COVID related. It is a biotech company, and they were pretty much, it was a press release kind of vibe where they were just promoting a new drug that they were that could have a breakthrough. So this was something I thought like, okay, I could maybe place a trade on, and I didn't, and I probably should have, because what happened was at the open, it opened at about $3, and then right at the open it just took off, more or less. Like within 10 minutes it was up at $4.55 from $3. And then it kind of consolidated, and then just before 10 o'clock, it went up again, even more, to about $6.58. And as you can see, it hit a high of $7.07. It's been like a 26-week high, and it's kind of bounced off that high, and it's now trading in the, trading in the 590s. So this is something that I found, and I was like, okay, maybe I might do something with, but I didn't. And the reason is that OPK actually had better news. Right here, this was interesting. This was yesterday's news at 7 o'clock at night, where Seeking Alpha, once again, which is a financial blog, that this bio company is now confirmed a testing contract with the NFL. I figured, man, if you're going to have a testing contract with the NFL, it's going to be a big contract, so it's going to spike the stock. So what did it do? Let's see what it did. So, and this is one I played. Let's go to a one-day chart and see what's what. Okay, so let's just get rid of some of this mess here so we're not confused too much. Okay, for some reason it's not letting me do it. Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay, so in pre-market, it had news in pre-market, it had movement in pre-market. So I didn't find this myself. This was something that was alerted in the chat room early in the morning. Well, I should say in pre-market about 9 o'clock. I read the news article about the NFL testing contract, and I thought, okay, this is probably going to be a better play than MTP, because I felt like it was a stronger news article, more popular news articles, anything that's, something that most people know about, as opposed to some company in Israel with MTP. So I thought, okay, this is going to make the news, and it probably will make the news even more mainstream later in the day. So this might be something I might want to check out later in the day. So let's get into it. So what happened was let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Let me see if this is helping. Well, anyway, you can probably see, here's the market open, at 9:29 in the morning, we'll call it, and it was starting to dip down. It was dipping down. And sometimes what happens is that people who've been holding on to the stock for a long time, they decide to sell it finally. And it's finally up. It was up big in pre-market. Like if you just unload the thing. So, but I was waiting for I wanted more of a drop. But now it got into here at about 9:41 in the morning, about 10 minutes into the open, at $5.30, which was the low. And I have to say, I nailed the low pretty damn close by using this right here, this level 2, which I'm still trying to learn how to really get adept at. So I entered the trade at 9:39 in the morning at $5.36, which is just 6 cents above the low. And it kind of, I bought it before it went down to 5:30. So when it went down to 5:30, I got a little nervous because I thought maybe, this is where a panic is going to come in, and it's going to be a deep red candle down to like $4 and something cents. So I waited patiently, and then it started to go up. So what I did was at 9:43, literally 4 minutes later, I sold at $5.41, which is like literally like a percent. Held on the other half. Literally a minute later, it got to $5.53. I got in at $5.49, sold at a 2.5% profit. The thing I'm trying to learn here is patience, and because as you can see, it got as high as 647, and I probably wouldn't have waited that long, but I probably would have sold if I was patient enough. I probably would have sold up here in 594. And right now it's trading at $6.04. I mean, it's been bouncing around, it's consolidated more or less now. So at the end of the day, if I have time, I'm going to take a look at this again and perhaps enter into another trade late in the day if it looks like it has, this news will have more legs, as we say. So then the last one I did was BOXL. BOXL is something I traded in the past with mixed results. Now this one I'll just say real quick because I bought in at 10 o'clock in the morning at about $2.72. It's now down to $2.55, but I bought it at $2.72 at pretty much 10 o'clock in the morning. The deal is with this is that someone in the chat room, not one of the moderators, just some dude in the chat room was like, BOXL's hitting 270s, which in some of our studying, I'll say that we've done on this particular stock, BOXL, 270 was kind of a number we were all kind of bandying about, saying that might be a good time to buy in. So stupidly, I just bought in without even really reading anything. Normally, I try to read, okay, if it's going down, maybe there's bad news and you don't want to buy. But I glanced, I didn't see any bad news, but I didn't really see any news. So I decided to give it some patience, and I sold it at $2.69 with a less than a percent loss. And it was probably a good thing that I did because now it's at $2.59, lower than what I sold it for. What are the key takeaways here? I guess strong news. MTP was a surprise in a way. I knew that was good news, but I don't know. Maybe it says I don't know enough about the pharmaceutical industry, and so maybe that news was more important than I gave it. Now it's at it's a very volatile stock. It's been up at 7. It's been down at almost 490. So it's been all over the map a little bit. But definitely it started at 3. And the thing I'm trying to understand here is sometimes my instinct tells me to buy right at the market open and to see which way the stock goes. And I know that's very risky, but in a situation with MTP, I almost did that, and I didn't. And then with OPK, I thought the same thing. And with OPK, if I had bought right at the open, I would have been, what was the open? 560, 570, and it got as low as 530. So, I might have gotten right out of the trade. Who knows? So, any case, trying to develop some strategies. Hope this lesson, or I shouldn't say lesson for me, little bit of insight. Got any comments? I'd love to hear them. Any ideas, thoughts, concerns, and all that wonderful stuff. Thank you, and we'll see if we'll be here tomorrow with another trade. All right, take care.